Welcome back, everyone, to our interview booth here at the Arizona Tennis Classic. Joining me now in the booth is a man who I have to describe as a returning champion here on our Cracked Racquets podcast. We've been so fortunate to get to watch his rise across the ATP rankings. Joining me once again, the current world number 125, Michael Mmoh. First of all, it's good to see you, my friend. It's been far too long. Talk me through, why was a wild card into this event the right decision for you?
Just because I felt like I needed a couple more matches. I felt like I played a pretty competitive match in Indian Wells, but just didn't go my way, one of those 50-50 battles. And I just felt like I could use a little bit more momentum going into Miami. And, this is a great location to play some tennis. Amazing club, so I'm really excited to get out there and play.
Yeah, I know everyone here in Phoenix is excited to see you. I actually have a statistic for you to start this conversation. It's one you might not know, and again, I had to do a deep dive on it. I wanted to run the numbers twice, double check. You're 26 now, my friend. That's devastating to me. Like, I remember you, Francis, Steph, where I'm like, oh, it's the dream team. It's the kids. They're still growing up. They're the future. The future is now. It's the present. This is 26 years old. You should be in the prime of your career. I'm curious. Again, we're getting straight to the heavy stuff here. Do you feel that way? You feel like you're playing your best tennis of your career right now?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I've just had a couple road bumps along the way. Last year, I had a lot of good wins, and I felt like I was picking up a lot of steam, and then got sidelined for 3 months right after in Acapulco. So that kind of set me back just in terms of continuing that momentum. But then, I kind of got back on the bandwagon, played pretty well in Wimbledon and US Open. But I just think if I can, stay healthy this year, play a full schedule, I think I'll like where I'm going to end it at the end of the year.
I couldn't agree with you more. How gratifying was that U.S. Open run? Again, to your point about the hiccups, it feels like for 5 years now, when you're healthy, you're a top 100 player. It's just about staying healthy for, 3 months, let alone 6 or 9. To have that U.S. Open run, to be healthy, to have it all come together so perfectly, what was that moment like for you?
Oh, it was special. Something I'll definitely remember forever. Battling against John in his last match, a guy that I've watched for so many years and admired, his success and his longevity, and, just a great guy overall. So to share the court with him in his last match and, my first round too, granted, Karen was coming back from injury and whatnot, but I still think I played one of the better matches in my career in that one. And, to get those 2 wins back to back and then lose a tough one to Draper, but, still really high level tennis. I was really proud of my performances and my efforts out there, and hopefully I can kind of repeat some of that level for the rest of the year this year.
No, absolutely. And you have that check to use to pay off the engagement ring, my friend. Like, that's the real success there. That's the real clutch shot. And I'm just curious for you, again, to talk about getting older and advancing in your career. You've advanced not just on the court, off the court as well. What's it mean to you to be engaged now and be at this stage of your career? I'm curious how that helps your tennis, if at all.
I think it helps me massively, just having that support system and having somebody that I really care about, and I know they really care for me too, just on a genuine standpoint, like unconditional, whether I do good in tennis, whether I do bad in tennis, and that's rare. I think a lot of the relationships you have in tennis are kind of conditional based, kind of on results, but to have somebody like her in my corner is massive. And she's actually coached this week. I don't have my coach with me this week, so she's filling in, and she's doing a great job so far.
No, I love to hear that. Is she the one who's taught you how to volley? Because let's just get right into it. Again, talking about your game specifically, what's the biggest change I see over the last 18 months? I don't remember you volleying this willingly earlier in your career, and I'm just curious if I'm onto something, if that has been a point of emphasis. It doesn't actually have to come from your fiance, but I'm just curious if that's been a big focus of development for you.
Yeah, definitely. It's funny because her dad always, at the beginning when we started dating, always used to say, like, he felt my transition game and my net game was probably the weakest part of my game. So
does he say that to you after date like 4, 5? Because that's a big thing to say.
Yeah, well, actually, he's never told it to me face to face, but he tells it to Clara, and then the message is relayed to me. But he's 100% correct, or he was 100% correct. And that's something that I've continued to work on, and I'm on this mission now to prove him wrong.
Yeah, I love to hear that. And again, we don't know each other that well, so I guess I apologize if this is an invasive question. I feel like you've dropped 5 to 10 pounds. Like, I just feel like early in your career, maybe it's you're young, you want to lift as much as you can, get in the gym. Like, I just feel like you're playing a little bit lighter now. And look, movement was never an issue for you, but I'm curious, again, if I'm onto something and if that might be health related.
Yeah, that's something that she's also helped me with massively. You know, she's big into, you know, eating healthy, going to sleep early, you know, doing everything the right way to just have a healthy lifestyle. And that's, you know, carried over onto me. You know, all of a sudden now I'm sleeping at least 2 to 3 hours earlier than I used to. You know, I'm eating a way more balanced diet, you know, so that's something that she's had a big impact on. And you're 100% correct with that. That's something that's been a focus for me, you know, just because, like you said, I've been injured almost every single year of my career. So I'm trying to tackle every single obstacle I can. And one thing that you can control is what you put in your body. And that's something I've been doing a way better job of. And I do think it's paying off big time.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. Again, it's one of the healthier stretches. I'm knocking on all sorts of wood, I promise, that you've had in your career. And, you know, in that spirit, I'm curious, is it more physical or mental, the confidence that you have gained from just being able to play 6 months consecutively? Because, again, U.S. Open result kind of leads into this, which has led into that. And I know it's 125 in the world right now, but the runway is there for you to re-enter that top 100 points-wise. And, you know, again, I'm just curious if if you have top 100 confidence right now, if that makes sense.
Definitely. I mean, if you look at probably since Wimbledon, which is when I was like fully healthy, to now, you know, that span of time, I think I am in the top 100. Like if you look at like the Olympic race, which is kind of around that time frame, I am in the top 100. So like you said, I have, you know, almost no points to defend until Wimbledon. So definitely my confidence is there. I feel like I'm a top 100 player, no doubt. And, you know, I'm excited for the months ahead because, you know, it's going to be a good opportunity with not much coming off to, you know, rise in the ranking. And, yeah, like I feel like my game is ready, and I'm ready to take it on. Yeah,
well, we're looking forward to it. My last 2 questions for you here. Miami on the horizon. Obviously, you are a lifelong IMG guy. I'm curious if that's in your schedule at all, and more broadly, what the next 3 to 6 months look like. As you mentioned, you do have that runway to be top 100. Does that mean playing challengers? Does that mean dipping your toes into 250 qualifying? What does the next 6 months look like for you?
I haven't, you know, went that far ahead 6 months wise, but I know what I'm going to play post Miami. I'm playing Miami, and then I'm going to play Houston. And then I'm actually probably going to play my home tournament, Sarasota.
Love
so
that.
That's a 75. Good opportunity to stack up some matches on clay. Didn't really play a lot on the clay last year, but I do feel like I can play on clay. I just need the reps, so I think it's a good opportunity to kind of start the clay court season just, you know, with a little bit of momentum. And I think Sarasota gives me the opportunity. It's also on my doorstep. It's literally 10 minutes from my house, so you really can't beat that. And then I'm actually going to go probably back on the hard and go to Acapulco. Yeah, I think that would be a good opportunity for me. It is on hard, which kind of mixes up the clay, but, you know, it's a 125, and, you know, I think I've played well there in the ATP events, and I just really like the conditions there. I like the environment. It's pretty similar to Sarasota where I live, super humid. They play a little bit later in the day, which is always nice. So, yeah, that's my 3 tournament schedule post Miami.
Lido Beach or Siesta Beach? What's the choice?
I go Siesta.
It's got to be. It's the best sand in the world. I mean, you step on that. My grandparents have a place at Gulf and Bay on Siesta, and so been going there for some time. And yeah, that's I agree. I think that's the right pick. And I'm hoping to get to Sarasota this year as well and just crash at their place.
The hopefully things see you there.
Yeah, exactly. The things I do. You know, again, a week with Grandma just to come watch you guys. My last question for you, again, moving forward. I know goals in this sport. It's such a tough thing to do because it's week by week, it's match by match. But what do you hope to accomplish here in this 2024 season?
I would definitely like to see myself at least in the top 75. That's something that I haven't broke. You know, I've gotten, I think, to 81. So I'd like to see myself with a little bit of cushion inside the slams because, you know, if you're 90, you can really bounce out of that to 110 and then you're outside of the slams. So I'd like to put myself in a little bit of a cushion spot to get into all of the slams. So I think that's you know, probably my minimum goal. Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to watching you try to accomplish that. When's the wedding? August? Actually, September.
Okay.
Yeah, right after US Open.
I love to hear
Yeah.
that. Well, congratulations to you, my friend. Sincerely, it is always a pleasure to get the chance to see you and chat, and good luck to you this week.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.